Bunch of thieving Italians.
Hey, what you talking about? Hey, get out of here with that shit, huh?
You sure you ain't just from Jersey? Oh wait, same thing.
I mean, throw a stone, you might hit one. This week on Trees in Space, Jason and I watched the 1964 rated R Western, A Fistful of Dollars. Hey everyone, welcome to our episode. I'm Nate, this is Jason. As you heard, we watched Fistful of Dollars. Jason, you've seen this movie way before I ever did.
Well, I mean, it's an old movie. This thing is 60 years old. And I watched it the first time when I can't remember. My father was a real big Clint Eastwood fan. Him and John Wayne, but I never really got into John Wayne, but I got into some Clint Eastwood. So yes, I saw this a long, long time ago.
Well, this movie is the beginning of a trilogy, which I was unaware of until I spoke with you. But the man with no name enters the Mexican village of San Miguel during a power struggle between the three Rojo brothers and the Sheriff John Baxter, when the regime of Mexican soldiers bearing gold intend to pay for new weapons in the Wayland by the Rojo brothers. The stranger inserts himself into the middle of the long, simmering battle, selling false information to both sides for his benefit.
Baxter's over there. Rojo's there. Me right in the middle.
Yes, and it did not work well for him in the end. I guess at the very end it was fine, but
yeah.
Now the main Rojas brother was it Miguel. There was the older one who, then there was the younger
Ramon. Ramon was the hot-tempered one, the one with the good shot.
Yeah. Anyways, the main bad guy. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? I was going to say, geez, I had it. It's. Wait, come back.
While we're waiting for it to come back, please support our channel by liking, subscribing, following, share it with your friends. We'll insert a whole lot of little buttons and clicks and floaty things. You can also find us on TikTok at trees_in_space.
Oh, best shot, most amazing shooter of all time in any movie. He gets revealed owning a Gatling or controlling a Gatling gun on a bunch of military folks. Unloads more rounds than that Gatling gun can hold, but does not melt the barrel.
Oh yeah,
kills everyone and misses every horse. Now, one horse was shot in his sporadically shooting of his Gatling gun.
That is immense skill for him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you count shots like I did? Like every time Clint Eastwood would start firing his gun, I would count his shots because I'm assuming it's a 6-shooter. So I was like, I'm trying to be like, all right, 1 shot, 2 shot. All right, he shot 5 shots. He's got 1 shot left. And then I'll be looking at the chamber and be like, all right, is there 1 shot left? And I even noticed at points where there was 2 shots left. And I was like,
that's because he reloads between camera being on him.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, come on. When he's out of frame, like you just see him shoot, and then he shoots his face. Well, what's happening below the screen is he's putting bullets into his weapon. Gosh, but no, I didn't do that with this movie. I've done that before because I have seen this movie so many times, and I still watch it. I watched it as a critic this time, if you will.
How did that go? As watching this from a fan to a critic, how did this movie fare to you? Is it different? Were you able to separate yourself enough for it?
No, I'm too biased. I'm way too biased for Clint Eastwood to, he has a catalog of, I don't know, 40 movies. 3 of them were bad, and this I don't think was one of them.
He was ruggedly, dashingly handsome. Like, he reminded me almost of like a younger you. where
Wow.
like just ruggedly handsome and then just kind of got old. Like, the features are still there, like the crystal eyes, like the charming smile. Like he's got the features. He's wrinkling past his bone.
64 now, 96 or something. But and for those that don't know, it's a spaghetti western, which that basically means. An Italian person, Leone, he directed
In
this.
England.
And and they filmed it in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what made Clint Eastwood kind of a star. And then, of course, he has 3 of these. His other westerns that people think fall into the No Man with No Name. But he does, his name is said in this movie,
It's
Joe. So, but as a first-time Western watcher.
Yes, I've never watched a Western ever in my life. But I thought it was wonderful. I mean, I was very confused in the beginning when he comes up to the water well and he's just like drinking and he's sharing it with his horse and he's just watching this small child run over to this house and this big dude with a sombrero brings him out. Dad or this smaller, frailer guy comes, grabs him, and brings him back. I'm like, the hell's? And then there's the woman. I'm like, what's the point of this? Like, and then okay, it's the backstory. They didn't spend a lot of time in it, but it's this kid. That's his mother. Mom got lost in a poker game or something, and now the dad and the boy lives in the stable across from where the mom lives, and she's getting trailed by the one of the Rojo brothers.
Yes. Yes.
And I thought it was beautiful.
She's getting railed by Rojo's brothers. Thought it was beautiful.
Well, I thought that Eastwood's approach of like pitting both sides against each other, start a war that they weren't really going to have. Like they were living peacefully. He just started a little bit of static each side. Like that whole aspect of it, I thought was beautiful. I will say that I will have the intent to watch the second one. Do I need to watch the second one? Not right now. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I watched this movie. I thought it was, it was brilliant. I loved it. It was wonderful.
It was a good dive. It was a good dive into westerns. I mean, when someone says I've never watched like a horror movie, it's like what horror movie do you have them watch? Someone says I've never seen a musical. What musical do you send them to? You could have been sent to a handful of westerns, and that was it. And the fact you picked that one.
To me, I felt like this would have been or is the perfect like intro. It's Clint Eastwood who is known for it. Forgot all about John Wayne.
Eastwood is definitely a better actor. There's not much more range to his acting, but there is some range. John Wayne had none, and I still love John Wayne. Now, there's a scene where the Rojas brothers catch fire to the Baxter's place on the other end of town, and as they start coming out, they start shooting them, right? And shooting up all the Baxters. And I'm like, okay, this is 2 stories. Why is no one, after the first 3 or 5 people get shot, realize, okay, we're going to get shot going out the front? There's not a back door? I'm sure there would have been. But there's at least
a window.
Yeah, go up to the top and shoot them from the high. They showed one person getting shot up there, and he fell over. But, I mean, they shot, 25, 30 people? Because at some point in time, like, go up there and start shooting back.
Well, counting wasn't their strong suit because way earlier, John Wayne kills 4 Rojo brothers or 4 of his gang, and he told the caretaker or whatever, the undertaker, like, hey,
get 3 coffins ready.
Huh?
My mistake. 4 coffins.
You watch this movie, you've never seen it before. Understand that Clint Eastwood is the only one in the film saying his lines in English. Everyone else is saying their lines in Italian, and they're being dubbed in the English words. Can you imagine how hard it would have been to act then?
You know, I was wondering, and I meant to bring it up, and I'm so happy you did. It definitely felt like they dubbed it, but it wasn't horribly off. Like,
Right.
it just seemed as if the field audio wasn't good enough, and then they brought it into a studio, and so those weren't real Mexicans?
No, they were all the main bad guy. He's Italian. All of them are Italians.
Wow.
They
They got them dirty.
They did, but what that one Rojas brother, man, and he like I said, he's in part 2. I think he's in part 3 also, but he got some eyes, man. He got some serious like eyeballs, man. No, but they're all Italian.
Oh wow!
And I don't know if every word they're saying is Italian, but most of them are acting in Italian.
That's wild.
That's what
well, let's get into what the audience in Rotten Tomatoes said, huh?
Okay, sounds good.
Rotten Tomatoes scored this with a 98%, while the audience rating was 91%.
By far the highest rated movie on both groups, by far. I think 80 something was the best one we've had before, and that was Rotten Tomatoes 80.
I think so.
That's
yeah.
crazy. I wonder how much.
It's almost 100. That is nutty.
I wonder how much of this is just nostalgia, and how much it was a good movie. Because the filming was great, the pacing was great, the landscape, the scenery. What's that called? Cinematography.
Cinematography was beautiful.
We don't have one of those here. If you watch
to
the end of the video, you'll notice that it says we don't have one.
Cinematographer.
Yeah, we don't have those.
It was clean. It was a real clean footage. It was like, I don't know if I watched a remastered version or something, but I mean, it wasn't shot like a 90s film that I can barely watch.
No.
I'm surprised I could tolerate, because it's not known on this show, but when it comes to video quality, I'm a snob, and I don't like watching old shit.
This is so true. This is so true. Well, no, it's an 80s movie. This is a 60s movie, but it was shot like a good movie, okay? So I can watch this one.
This was good, yeah. So let's get into the 5-star, 1-star reviews. The first 5-star review comes from an unknown 4th best Western ever.
4th best Western ever. Okay, let me see if I can name the 3 that are better. Unforgiven. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And maybe the Cowboys or the Searchers. I'm going to guess that's what the other ones that he thought was better. I would not have put this for. Oh, there's Pale Rider. There's a Tombstone. Tombstone's a Western. Great movie. So, I don't know if it's the 4th best. Maybe 10th best.
Oh.
Might be the 4th best Clint Eastwood Western. That I can agree with. Okay. Number 1 star. 1 star review. I'm sorry, everyone, I'm messing up because me and Nate I'm excited because like in 3 days, I'm getting in a plane car.
What did he say?
I'm getting in a plane car, and I'm fly driving down to South Florida to meet my friend so we can go on a cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, unknown 1 star. The worst spaghetti Western ever.
I mean, I haven't seen all but one, but I felt this was fantastic. And if this is the worst ever, man, my bar is set very high.
And the thing is, I don't know many spaghetti westerns. I know it's not just Clint Eastwood ones, but the ones I know that are Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns, he's right.
The next 5-star review comes from another unknown. My mistake, 4 coffins.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's it. 5-star review. 5 stars.
Yeah, that's all it takes. You even said it was a great line.
It was beautiful. I mean, that was definitely a noteworthy line.
And there's nothing about Clint Eastwood in his movies. I mean, he's gonna win. You don't know that at first when he first, when he was 1964. You don't know that.
Not beat out of him in that one scene. He was just bloodied and just ugh.
And someone will do something, and he'll also kind of look surprised too, like he can't believe something happened, and he's not always the fastest or the best or whatever. He's
smart.
Yes.
That gringo is smart.
Yeah. That gringo is smart. So I like him. So, okay. Doug D. Hard to get excited about a hero that has no truth in him and no loyalties, only a love of coin.
He gave a lot of money back.
And did he not rescue the little boy and give it to the mother and told her to go on to San Antonio or whatever?
Gave him like 600 gold, or gave him a satchel of gold too, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he has no truth and he has no loyalty. Well, who's he going to be loyal to?
He's loyal to fair and justice.
Yes, he freed that family from the enslavement, basically, that the Rojas brothers had on them. Now, he didn't have to send them off because he killed everybody anyhow. So,
spoilers.
Sorry, Clint Eastwood's in a movie and everyone dies but him.
And the caretaker at the inn.
Yeah, the caretaker.
He's my favorite one. He was my favorite person. I liked him the most. The last 5-star review comes from yet again another unknown. I saw Yo Jimbo Fur before watching this and thought that I wouldn't like it as much because it is basically a remake. I actually like this movie more than Yo Jimbo. Clint Eastwood is a fucking hard body in this. This is by far the best remake. There is no drop off in plot, characters, and cinematography.
I'm gonna guess Yo Jimbo is a Japanese movie made before this one, because at first I thought they were saying that Yo Jimbo was the remake, but it sounds like they mean this movie here, Fistful of Dollars.
It is an absolute. It's a 1961 Japanese samurai film. It is listed as a Western action, not rated, and it's an hour and 50 minutes.
Okay, so it's written. So now I'm interested in watching that movie because I do know a lot of Westerns are taken from Japanese samurai movies.
Oh.
I didn't know this was one of them.
Nor did I.
Samurais, you get a samurai, you have a cowboy. Just change their environment and you have the same story. Interesting. So now I've got to watch that. I had no idea. Bunch of thieving Italians.
Hey, what you talking about? Hey, get out of here with that shit, huh?
You sure you ain't just from Jersey? Oh wait, same thing.
I mean, throw a stone, you might hit one.
It's not being stereotypical. It just is.
Not yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The last 1-star review from Harsh C. I like this guy's name, Harsh C. The first in a new era of tough guy westerns with a ridiculous story, gratuitous killing, and only 4 differential gunshot sound effects.
Well, they only had 4 different guns.
Yeah.
What did you want?
Yeah. I mean, even if you had 15 different guns, and they're all the same gun, some bullet comes out of it. I guess echoes could be a little bit different, but it wasn't like when they were shooting up the Baxters, it would sound like a Gatling gun, like the Gatling gun was sounding. At least that was a different gun.
Exactly. Though, did you notice that right away that was a pneumatic gun?
What was?
The Gatling gun. It was a training Gatling gun, like we would have used in our old days, because you could see the colored tubing of the sun. Like, oh, that's an air gun. They're not even firing anything out of that. Just that's why it doesn't overheat. It doesn't jam. So the WTF review here comes from an unknown 3-star from August 17th, 2007. Really hard for me to gauge considering I'm not a huge Western fan. I felt that at times it was real good and at times it wasn't. So,
That's absolutely fair, especially somebody watching it in 2007, like you watching it now in 2024. A 60-year-old movie. Wait, yeah, 60-year-old movie. For anybody now to watch that isn't my age or older, whatever, around this age, and it says, I sometimes thought it was pretty good. That means it's probably a pretty good movie.
yeah, it's not bad. I should have pulled the box office for something of this old and see what it grossed its first weekend out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did the box office do the same thing back then? I know they, did they release it on a Friday and then keep it? Was movies being played every day or just on the weekend?
No, I wasn't there.
Well, you might have had some knowledge of are you aware of World War II?
I knew it happened.
Well, you weren't there.
I mean, I'm here and my parents had sex, so obviously that happened. I wasn't there, but I knew it happened.
That's a good point. Now, I'm just wondering how, because now we have movies Monday through Sunday. They show them on time. I don't know if they did that in the 50s and the 60s, if they just showed them on the weekends. Because
I would imagine it'd probably be like a Thursday night thing or a Friday night. I don't see why it would have ever changed from Friday night.
yeah, I'm just
End of the work week, going into the weekend, you bring your old gal, your
and you go out now.
East.
If you happen to know, if you were alive in 1964 and being able to remember,
you saw this movie in the theater, let us know.
please, we will contact you and do a special with you on Talking Stuff podcast to interview you because we would love to get your take on films.
All right, well, let's get into our rating of these movies, huh?
Yes.
So this being my first ever Western I've ever seen, I thought it was perfect. I had very low expectations. I thought it was going to be very just like cheesy and corny, but the action was spot on to me for what a Western should be and exceeded all expectations. I am going to give this movie 4 trees and a stump.
Wow, that don't give you much more room for any kind of Westerns after this.
It doesn't. I loved this movie. It was, I think I could not have picked a better first Western to watch. I think it was the beautifulest toe dipping movie I could have picked.
Well, you probably could. I'll tell you, when you do finally step in to watch the sequel, it's this. It's basically the same movie, a little bit different storyline, a little bit longer, a little bit more clear cut out characters, and an X factor thrown in there. So it's a very similar movie. If you like one, you should like the other. I think that's the idea. And the good, the bad, and the ugly is also that, but on steroids and 2.5 hours long. But anyways, so I'm a Clint Eastwood fan. I've seen all his movies. I've seen many times. I think I watched Pink Cadillac once.
I was thinking you've probably forgotten more about Clint Eastwood than I remembered about Kevin Smith.
I saw Bronco Billy twice, maybe. Firefox, Bridges of Madison County. I watched in disgust because back when it came out, Man the Man, Clint Eastwood was a manly man. He kept playing a little romantic whatever. My girlfriend said, "Well, watching it's your favorite actor." I liked it. Point is, I have to rank this against all the other Westerns I know and Clint Eastwood films, and that's not fair.
I was so easy to rate it, so I had no basis except for Gran Torino.
Yeah.
Show him the curve.
Trouble with the Curve.
Yeah, I think those are my Eastwood movies.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm going to, because he don't have many bad ones, but he has some really. But the ones he does are stinkers. And he has some classics, but he only has a handful of like truly 4 trees. I know we do 5 trees, but I don't know if Clint Eastwood has a 5-tree movie. I'm gonna put this a little bit above average at 3 trees.
Well, there you have it. We gave our rankings. I was a 4-tree and a stump. Jason was a 3-tree. Now the important question is, Jason, would you recommend this film?
Oh, I forgot that part. Well, I recommend this film to my surgeon. Yes, I would recommend this film to my surgeon because I have a plastic surgeon. He's the one who keeps my face looking like this. I don't know why I keep it in
I want to
business.
find another one.
Exactly. And I have a foot surgeon and I have a gynecologist. So, but she's not a surgeon.
Gastroenterologist?
What?
You mean a gastroenterologist?
Sure. And I would recommend to my lawyer and my police chief I have on my payroll. So I recommend it to all of them.
I 10,000% agree. I would recommend this movie to anybody. I would even recommend it to my kid, which I feel like he would find it boring, but I would still recommend it to him. This has been Trees in Space review / reaction to A Fistful of Dollars. I've been Nate. That's been Jason. See y'all later.
What?